I'd like to welcome everybody to the Planning and Zoning Board of Adjustments April 26, 2011 meeting. For those out there in TV land, we're running late today, so no, the meeting's not over with already. We wish it was, but it's not. We're just getting started. Got a roll call of members. I'm Brad Walker, Chairman. Mr. Jim Cecil, Vice Chairman.
Here.
Ms. Kathy Desideer is not here. Mr. Bill Lee.
Present.
Mr. Stephen McGowan.
Present.
Okay. Also like to mention that Mr. Paul Johnson was had to resign from the board. He did that regrettably, and hopefully we'll see him back later whenever he takes care of business and might be back. Now we're going to open it for a public comment period. If anybody would like to speak for or against an item on the agenda, please wait for the agenda item. This is just a generic public comment. Anybody? Public comment? All right. Gotta go ahead and close public comment period. Do I hear a motion on the acceptance of the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Bill Lee, second by Mr. Jim Cecil. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion pass. Do I hear a motion on the acceptance of the written decisions?
Make a motion to accept.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Jim Cecil to accept, second by Mr. Bill Lee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion pass. All right, we're going to our first zoning review. It's zoning review ID 2154.11. The remaining portion of Miss Aline A. LaBeouf property for D&G Lemonville Properties Incorporated, located on the west side of Garrison Turnaround Road, approximately 200 feet south of Lemonville Cutoff Road. Anybody here for that property? It's zoning review
45.
2145. It's a toss-up. It could be 2145 or 2454. It's 2154 on the agenda,
And different.
so we're going to go with the agenda. Okay.
So it's
Good evening.
2154, right?
Committee members and chairman. My name is Dickie Escovel. I'm here on behalf of D&G Lemonville Properties. And we're proposing to lots L5 through L9 on this property. And none of the lots, L5 through L9, were big enough to meet the 16,000 square feet for the parish. If you look at your map, we made L4, which and we sold off L4, which basically, if you look at L9, basically made L9 a lot there, because there's nothing else you can do with it there. So at that time, I went around to the residents, and just to give you a little history on this tract, there's 16 houses on this tract of land, and everybody rents. Nobody owns their property. And it's been like that since the 50s. And when we bought it, it came along with 36 other acres, and that's what we were interested in. But after buying it, we started talking to the residents of this area right here, and we found out they were renting because Ms. LaBeouf would never sell them the land. So these people actually built houses on this property. And there's a lot of second generation out there. There's a couple third generation that been living on this property. And all of the people now really want to buy. So we got together with, I guess, the planning staff and GWS Engineering, and then also a little bit the Planning Commission, and then Jeff with the parish, and we came up with this map here designating these 5 lots because we have these 5 people here want to buy. So we decided to do this section first before we proceeded on any further. So if anybody got any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Okay.
Any questions?
I know normally in the past we haven't done a variance for multiple lots, but these are all existing housings and existing residents, correct?
That's correct, Brad. And I've been in buying and selling real estate for 31 years, and this is the first time I've ever seen this, where people built structures on property that didn't belong to them. And but you know, after talking to them, you found out they really want to buy and they really want to improve their houses, but they don't want to do it because of the situation. So we're trying to offer them now a chance to buy the property. Now, we don't want to sell it to anybody else. We want to sell it to the existing people, and that could be stipulated in there to the people that's living there and have been living there since the 50s. So, we ask that, you give us a variance so we able to do this.
Well, just for clarification,
Yes, sir.
your request says that existing homeowners on lots L5 and L7 want to purchase, but now you're saying that all 5 do? Or more than just 2?
When we first drew the map up, it was 2 that came to us, and then I went around to all the owners. Now,
Okay.
everybody wants to purchase. So,
Okay.
and then, like I said, there's a total of 18 structures here, and we went, 16 structures, and there's only 3 of them that can be 16,000 square feet. So we actually went ahead and drafted them up and sold them already. So these are the ones that can't be, there's no way to make them any bigger than what they are. We stretched it, we went out there, we brought people out there. GWS has been out there multiple times. This is the best format that they can come up with.
Now, there's one lot that has 3 items on it. That's not your lot?
Which lot is that?
Right there. Do you have this map?
I don't think it has.
I don't have the big map.
It doesn't have any proposed existing tracks or anything. It just has 3 blocks that look like 3 buildings on that lot.
That's probably some of the
Do you
remaining.
see that, Lance?
That's the remaining of this, the whole track.
Okay,
So I guess what we're doing, Brad, is we're doing sections at a time,
Right.
rather than doing the whole thing. So we started off doing sections at a time to make it easier, I guess, because it was pretty complicated to try to get all these lines straight and everybody's property lines correct.
Okay. I didn't know if y'all were doing it for compliance or anything, because technically you can't have those 3 on that lot, on that one in the back.
Well, basically, those have been there since 1950, so they're non-conforming.
Right.
All of them, basically all of them are. That one, the one that you see the 3 on, is basically it's a remaining track, so it's just remaining of whatever he's going to end up cutting out. It's just going to be a remainder of that. What,
Okay.
36 acres?
It's 39
39
acres. So
Okay.
it was just one tract of land. There was no lots designated other than the one that y'all gave us a variance on before from Mr. Emery Coleman that attached his lot there, and that was the only one.
Okay. Any other questions?
Public hearing open.
Okay, let me open public hearing. Anybody want to say anything for or against this variance, please come up. We have a small group in the audience that's not very active tonight.
Small crowd.
All right, close public hearing. Do I hear a motion?
I'd like to go ahead and motion to accept as written.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Mr. Jim Cecil, second by Mr. Bill Lee, to accept as written. You want me to reread every one of them? Okay. It's as written on lot 5, lot 6, lot 7, lot 8, lot 9. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank y'all very much.
All right. Now moving to the next zoning review ID, 2155.11. Lot Tanglewood subdivision for Mr. Paul Johnson, located on the north side of LA Highway 621, approximately 250 feet of West L. Landry Road. Mr. Paul? Yeah, sign in. Just tell us what you're trying to do.
I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to explain this to you. It's kind of a long process, and we've got down to this point right here where we had built the building thinking we were commercial to start with, when it's turned out we weren't, and that's, like I say, Lance and I have worked through all of those problems along with Laverne Bourgeois, and so all that's behind us. But we need now, what we're asking for simply, is a variance as far as the driveway is concerned. When we built this building, we didn't have any idea it was going to put a concrete driveway down or a blacktop driveway, and our driveway is most probably 150 feet long. And I got a price, because of what Lance told me. I got a price to do the blacktop, which I really don't want to do, and that's like $9,000. I can do the blacktop, if we have to, and we're forced to do it now, we can do that now to get rid of the dust-free situation, compliance. But I have a 40-foot motorhome, and it's just not going to last. I'm going to tear it up. When I turn around, it's just going to spin on top of it and destroy it. I'd really like to put concrete in there. And if we can get the variance for the 2 years, that'll give the school time enough to grow. We have a small school, it's never gonna be very big, but over a 2-year period, we can cover the cost, and we'll put the concrete down. And that's what we're asking for, just a variance so we can have a time period, a grace period to be able to put concrete instead of having to go now with a blacktop or asphalt.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
I have no questions, Chairman.
Well, your driveway's so long that
Sir?
the only people who'd be affected by the dust would be your house primarily. I mean,
Yes.
based on the pictures I saw.
I'm sorry, speak a little louder, please.
Based on the pictures I saw, it looked like,
Oh, yeah, that's our house driveway. It's the
Yeah.
driveway to my house and to my shop in the back. And when we built the little school, we built just off to the side of it, and we put the parking directly in front of the school. So when you come off and on our driveway, you just simply pull into the school. But I understand now, see, we had to go through the whole thing about changing the property to the zoning and all. And from what I understand, the regulations are that we have to be dust-free, and that's where the stipulation came in. Now, if you want to give us a variance, we don't have to be dust-free, that's fine with me.
Do you have an apron, like some kind of concrete or
Yes,
asphalt apron off
I've
the
got
road?
I've got an apron most probably from here to that wall off the road.
Okay.
Yeah, when they came in and did the roads years ago, and they redid all the culverts and the drainage and all, they actually put the concrete apron off. And I'd say I tell you what, it's long enough for me to sit there with my truck with no problem at all touching anything in the back or the front.
Okay. Just we normally just request that on gravel driveway variances just to make sure that no gravel gets on the highways.
Oh, yeah, that's not an
So,
issue.
okay.
That's not an issue at all.
The total length of the driveway is 150. How far is it from the road to the building?
Oh, well,
It looks like
I say
about-
150, we're talking about almost to the back of where we would do the parking. There's only a little small section of maybe from here to the wall that would complete the whole thing.
I see.
Because up by the house, we pick up the concrete when we pour the slab. We have a concrete driveway area, and that, up by the house. And it's just that gap that we would have between what we have to have for the building, for the school, and what we already have. But totally be about 150 feet. Like I said, I got a price on it to put the asphalt, but I'd really, if it's one of those things when we talked about, if we have to do that, then to satisfy, to go ahead and get it done now, we'll do that. But I really don't want to put asphalt down, because I actually put a turn lane that's part of the parking for the school for me to turn my coach around. Well, that coach sits there and I spin the tires on it. And when I do, what's it going to do to the asphalt? It's just going to tear it up.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have a question for staff. Is the chemical treatment like calcium chloride considered good enough to be dust-free?
I'm
You can put stuff called calcium chloride down that it holds dust down for a couple of years.
It would have to be a permanent dust-free paving, so if it's
Okay,
permanent,
okay,
then
that's all right.
then probably not, yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay. Let me open the public hearing. Anybody want to say anything for or against this zoning review? Please come up, sign it in. God, not an active bunch at all. All right. Closing public. Oh, you can come on. Oh. All right. Closing public hearing.
That's my wife. She's going to say the same things I said.
Oh, so you're just telling her to sit down. Okay.
No, I asked her to sit down.
On TV,
I have to ride home with it. Don't give me the phone.
on record.
All right.
Who's got the car keys?
All right. Do I hear a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to go ahead and give him that 2-year variance. I really don't see any problem with this affecting the area. The only people that this is going to really affect is the students and his house. From the road standpoint, he's not dragging gravel on the road, and that's what we worry about the most. So I don't have any problem. I don't think this area has a problem with it neither. I'm going to go ahead and make a motion to go ahead and give him the 2-year extension.
Okay. Do I hear a second?
I agree. I think with the cape and the distance that the building is already sitting back from the road, I don't believe we're going to run into an issue, and I'd like to second.
All right. I have a motion to approve the variance for a length of 2 years by Mr. Jim Cecil and seconded by Mr. Steve McGowan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And starting as of now.
Motion passes. Thank you.
Look, I really appreciate the time I spent with y'all. Although it was short, but I do appreciate everything y'all did for me tonight, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. All right. The last zoning review ID, number 2144.11, has been removed by the applicant and rescheduled for the June 28, 2011 meeting. So we will not be hearing that tonight. And then one last, I guess, old business or new business. Just stating that if you'd like to volunteer to be on the Board of Adjustments, we are looking for 2 people. Check your weekly for the local ad to be on the Board of Adjustments. It's not a hard position. You know, it just help volunteer your time. So
Can I re-volunteer?
you got to apply. You can apply.
No problem. I'll check
You have to have a red shirt, though.
Yeah, you got to have a red shirt. We have
Yeah,
red shirt night.
what is it with
It's
red
a red
shirt
shirt night? So got to have a red
You
shirt.
brought that up, didn't you?
I just wanted to buy me a red shirt.
All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn, or we sleeping here?
So
tonight?
Motion
moved.
adjourned.
So moved.
All right.